Hi everyone, welcome back to episode 2 for the Neutral Zone. I'm women's ice hockey beat reporter Meg Buckley, and I'm here to preview the Ivy game weekend as Quinnipiac takes on both Dartmouth and Harvard. Starting with Dartmouth, they will play on Friday. Last year when Quinnipiac beat Dartmouth, both times the team met, with the first time being here in Hamden. The Bobcats won 3-2 with Mia Lapata scoring in the first period, it also being her first collegiate goal. Then Sadie Peart and Kendall Cooper would each score in the second and third periods, both on a power play. Former Big Green and now Bobcat Jenna Donahue scored for Dartmouth on a power play early on in the second. Then Kenzie Batchelor netting another goal for Dartmouth with less than a minute in the second period. However, Quinnipiac would still take the game. Then Quinnipiac had a second win later on in the season as they headed up to Hanover. It was a highly contested game, but the Bobcats still came out 5-3 for the win. Moving on to the teams themselves, there has been a roster returner for both teams, but Quinnipiac having notably more. Former Big Green, now Bobcat, Jenna Donahue has been transferred in for Dartmouth, and Dartmouth has also lost Sophie Robinson, who led the team's defenders in points with 8. But again, other than Jenna Donahue, they've held on to a lot of their big top players like Laura Foucault with 8 goals and 12 assists, and Callie Dixon with 10 goals and 7 assists. Dartmouth has 2 new goalies, just like Quinnipiac, Michaela Hesova and Grace Hahn. Still, they're both first years and they don't have a lot of experience compared to Kaylee Doyle, who just had a really great weekend against both Clarkson and St. Lawrence, having 52 saves and being named ECAC Hockey Goalie of the Week. Another thing to note, that former Bobcat, now Big Green assistant coach Sadie Peart is with the team, and the teams will collide in Hamden later in the month of February. For this time around, one player I'd be looking out for is Kenzie Batchelor. She's played Quinnipiac before, and she has a lot of experience. She had a really good last season and is currently tied with Hamilton Doster for points. Now, I don't believe in decorating for Christmas before Thanksgiving, but to add some crimson to that Big Green, Quinnipiac will then go to Cambridge on Saturday to face Harvard. Talking about last year, Quinnipiac dominated Harvard, winning their first game 7-1, and then having 2 shutout games, 8-0 and 9-0, with the latter being the first preliminary round of ECAC hockey. In the first game, the Bobcats had a breakout first period, scoring 4 goals and then 3 more in the third. Sadie Peart would record 5 points and her first career hat trick, with Kaylin LaMarche having her third multi-point game of her career. Gwen Lapp would be the only one to score for the Crimson on a power play during the second. Later in the season, the Bobcats would face Harvard again, and it would end with 11 different Bobcats recording points. Finally, in the ECAC hockey playoff round, the game would end 9-0 for the Bobcats. Nina Steigoff earned her team-leading 16th goal for the season, and the total point tally for all 3 games was 24-1. That being said, some key players to look out for would definitely be Gwen Lapp. She ended last season with 15 points and is currently leading the team. Along with her defense, Mia Biotti was 3rd in the team for points with 8. Goaltender Emily Davidson is up there too, as Harvard took down number 14 in the nation, Yale, in a 5-1 game. One player that will not be on the ice this year, however, is Shannon Hollards, who was 2nd in the points last year with 9. On the ice for the Bobcats, though, you would expect to see some familiar faces, Kendall Cooper, Michaela Watson, Maya Labad, but for goaltending, it wouldn't be a surprise to see Kaylee Doyle after her great weekend, but if the teams have performed like they have in the past, Felicia Frank might be able to get some play time. That's all the time we have today. You can stay up to date on our X account at Q30 Sports. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Meg Buckley, and this has been the Neutral Zone.